Hi, welcome to this pick a card reading. My name is Gabby Turner, and in today's video we're going to be asking what makes you truly unique and what can you do to make the most of it. Sort of like how can you really embrace and make the most of these unique qualities that you have. So we have three options here, and each of them is represented by one of these goddess cards. This would be goddess number one, Aeracura. So that's group number one if you feel drawn to her. Group number two is Rhiannon. So this is this goddess for group number two if you feel drawn to that. And the group number three goddess is Rhiannon. All right, so that's group number three. So we have three options here. Feel free to correct my pronunciation in the comments below if necessary. We have group one, group two, and group three. All right, use those timestamps below and I'll see you at your reading. All right, this is the reading for group number one. You chose Aeracura, and I'm just gonna, let's see, should I read about the goddesses? Because personally I'm not familiar with her, but maybe it would be interesting to find out. Didn't plan to do this, actually. We'll see a little bit more what this goddess is about. I'm not familiar with her. Okay, so she's a Germanic goddess. It says, it's your time to shine and you're coming into your own with the assistance of goddess of the underworld and prosperity, Aeracura. You're being recognized for the beautiful soul you are. Get ready to blossom. So that's interesting. She does not look to me like a goddess of the underworld. It's very like, with all this kind of silver energy, it gives me like outer space type energy, but that's interesting. Okay, so she helps you to shine and is a goddess of the underworld and prosperity. All right. So it says also you're being recognized for the beautiful soul you are. Get ready to blossom. So I do feel like, just as a segue into what the reading is about, maybe you also are getting ready to be recognized in some special way for your unique qualities. I'm going to open with some oracle cards, and then we've got tarot as well, in terms of like getting that answer. What is unique about you? So we have inspiration and courage. I feel like, first of all, you are someone who's very inspiring, but it's almost like in some ways you are someone who could be seen as working behind the scenes, or generally speaking, maybe you haven't gotten a lot of applause for what you've done, but you've done a lot of work that is healing other people. I'm thinking about like nurses and caretaking energy and stuff like that. I mean, here she's some sort of medium, I guess, or psychic. She has a crystal ball. But it's like whatever you do in your life, people come to you for assistance. They come to you for support, or they find yourself like needing your support, like if you were a nurse or some sort of caretaker or something. But it's almost like maybe to you it feels at times, or it has felt at times, that what you're doing is taken for granted. Maybe you haven't even always seen the worth and the value of what you do, but what you do takes a lot of courage, in a way, maybe more than you realize, right? She is, I'm assuming, a psychic with this crystal ball. So how does that take courage? Well, for one thing, it takes courage to risk being wrong, right? Like, people come to you for the truth. They want correct answers. They're trusting you. And it takes courage to really be able to tap into your psychic abilities. To be a nurse, it takes courage. Why? Because your patients could die. They could get injured. You could do something wrong. You could make a mistake. But these are things where, like, it's also inspiring in some sort of way. Let me pull another card. It's inspiring that you're willing to take those risks in order to be there for other people. And then we have learn from life. You're someone who has been bold. You've been unafraid to really jump into life and leap into life situations that maybe other people would shy away from. Because you're understanding that everything we experience in life helps us to learn and grow. And also what's unique to you is that you can sort of take things easy. And I don't know why, but I keep getting that a lot of you might be in the nursing field, but it's sort of like maybe after a long day, like even if you've been dealing with trauma, even death maybe. I don't know if it's because of Aeracura being the goddess of the underworld, but I'm feeling like a lot of you have been exposed to a lot of death. You've dealt with a lot of death, but it's like you can still recharge and see the light at the end of the tunnel, or see the greater purpose, or, you know, go with the flow. Like, you know, today was a tough day. I saw a lot. You saw a lot of trauma, heard a lot of trauma, experienced a lot that was draining, but you also are someone who really knows how to recharge yourself. That in and of itself is very inspirational. What I get from all three of these cards is like someone who really knows how to dive deep into life, but also to resurface with clarity and purification, being, you know, rejuvenated. You know how to rejuvenate yourself. You keep your spiritual, energetic, and emotional batteries charged. And you do it, you know, not just for your own good, but for the good of the people that you are helping. All right, and then I have this other deck. It's the Affirmator's Creativity deck. Just going to get a couple cards from that, and then we'll tap into the tarot. But yeah, I do get a feeling of service, people who are doing some sort of service work that is not easy, that really requires tapping in to a special type of being able to put your own needs on the back burner for a moment. Could even be customer service. Okay. So we've got luck, imagination, and nothing is wasted. You make your own luck in life. That makes me think of some of the other cards we just saw, like going with the flow. Like, even when something could happen to you that most people would be like, ooh, that was a really unlucky experience. And yet you're able to find the positive because maybe you're someone who can be imaginative, or you have a way of using your mind with this imagination card to sort of envision and understand your place in the bigger picture of life, you know? Like, I'm just one person in this great, big, beautiful scheme called life, and isn't it wonderful, right? It's like you're able to find what's wonderful in even the most trying of situations. Like, you encounter a villain and you're like, well, great. This is my hero's journey. I get to conquer this villain. I get to experience what it is to meet with someone like this in life. Nothing is wasted. No experience is ever wasted. Even if what I'm working on turns out to be a total dumpster fire. Doesn't that happen sometimes? When I spend time on a project, it's always good practice. Plus, it makes me better at making whatever that thing is. And if what I was trying to make was a dumpster fire, then I'm already 5 steps ahead of the game. Yeah, so luck, imagination, nothing is wasted. You have a unique way of looking at life, which is sort of plucky and optimistic, and you're able to sort of clear the energy of the day. Or if you don't feel like this is true, like your spirit guides are just letting you know it's way more true than what you realize, because I think that, you know, let's just say you're having a normal day, right? It should be a lot easier to clear the energy from a quote-unquote normal day, but I think that you are often encountering things that are abnormal, or like abnormally difficult, or abnormally traumatic. Like I said, I do feel like a lot of you are in stressful occupations or stressful life situations or something like that. And yet you can keep coming back to a place of clearing the day, clearing the energy, clearing the way, starting again, getting back up on the bicycle, that type of energy. So there's a feeling here of kind of understanding that in order to shine, we have to have a little bit of darkness, right? And that said, I'm using the Star Power Tarot for this reading, so it kind of fits in with Aeracura. She has lots of stars around her head. You are a little bit of a beacon of hope, I think. You do shine bright in the darkness to other people who are going through darkness as well. And I feel like for you guys, maybe that's a lot of your motivation as well, to clear your own energy, to purify yourself, to prepare yourself for the next round of what's to come. To not get stuck in the looking backward at how hard something was, but like being in the moment and preparing for what's next, because you like being there for other people. You love being able to make that positive impact in other people's lives. Yeah, so what makes you unique? We have the Empress card. I mean, the Empress card, of course, is this person who can really be there for other people. I do feel like a deep sense of empathy, and I do also feel like you're someone who gives the truth to people, and you know, it's almost like the truth, it's more loving to present the truth than it is to present a beautiful facade, right? You love people with the truth. This Empress has a snake wrapped around her neck and also on her wrist. She understands that it is her purpose in life to help other people to transform and to heal. So I think that you are healers. Yeah, maybe that's the thing that ties it all together. Whether you're a nurse, some sort of energy healer, empathic healer, working in medicine, like veterinary stuff. I don't know that, but there's something about you that is, you are a healer. And you're a healer that continues to stay positive, even though you've seen so much difficulty and you've been exposed to so much difficulty. You know how to be there for people, and you know that it doesn't benefit people to give them false hope. You know, you present the reality, I feel like. We have the Eight of Pentacles. I also feel like something unique about you could be, I know we've talked a lot about what your occupation might be, but like, you know, the Eight of Pentacles has to do with our work. And if you can see this card, I don't know how well it's focusing. This person has a lot going on. So I feel like maybe you have had a multifaceted experience in terms of the types of jobs that you have, or the skill sets and talents that you have. Very multifaceted. Maybe some of this you do just for your own self, like, so making your own clothes, making your own art to put up on your walls, or like cooking, baking, and making music. You know, maybe some of these things you monetize, and they're, you know, your career in that sense. And maybe some of it's not, but it still helps you to live a multifaceted and fulfilled life. But I feel like for most of you, you have had a lot of jobs. You've been in a lot of different maybe types of work settings. You've had experience in different workplace roles and things like that. And yeah, with this Five of Swords, it's like when you've been asked, make a choice what you want to do with your life, you're like, I'll choose both, or I'll choose all of the above. It's like, I feel like you don't necessarily want to cut off any opportunity. So you've taken a lot of opportunities in life, and you've done a lot of things. You have a lot of life experience, because I feel like part of it for you is that your motivations with this High Priestess are more about, you really do seek greater levels of wisdom. So, you know, like, well, if working at the convenience store gives me a unique experience on life, I get to meet all sorts of different people or whatever, then isn't that important? Like, even if it's not paying me like tons of money, you know, like, I mean, maybe I'm not making six figures doing that or anywhere close to that, but isn't it worth it for the life experience? I do feel like a lot of you have an artistic self-expressive side of you as well, where you kind of like to have multifaceted experience, maybe living in different places, working in different types of jobs, being around different types of people, that type of thing. It's like it gives your mind something to wrap itself around. It gives you fodder for writing a story, writing a novel, making art. We have the Ace of Swords and the Sun. Yeah. You are someone who's in your head a lot, and you put yourself in situations that allow you to be in your head. But I also feel like you can be present with someone. Let's go back to that example of like working at a convenience store. If you are working in a convenience store, you can be doing your job, but also there's like another track of your mind that's running parallel that could be like working on a short story in your head or something. You know what I mean? Like, there is definitely some sort of need for self-expression, but it's like, I don't know how else to put it, but you're present with this Sun, you're warm, you're friendly. People think that you're totally, they may feel that they're getting your undivided attention, but like, I think you can really multitask in your head. Sometimes you can give someone that full warm presence of attention, but like your mind is other places at the same time. So that's unique, to be able to have your mind really working on two things at once, but in a kind of focused, present way with both. I'm writing a short story in my head. I'm also interacting with this customer. You know, maybe in your head, the interaction with that you would be having with the customer would be giving you ideas for some sort of dialogue in a short story. I don't know. But you make the most of life. Let's see here. For those of you who ever get into management roles, if you ever become a boss, I do feel like something that's unique about you is that you are unique. Like, even in your presentation, like you dress in a unique way or something, but people still respect you. You know, like sometimes it's like you're supposed to dress the part. I think that you have a unique quality, whether you're in management or not. Let me dial it back, because I think it's like you don't necessarily dress the part of whatever you're doing, and yet people still understand that you are the right person for that job. So that's kind of strange. I don't know how else to say it. Like, if you were a comedian, but you're getting on, well, I can't even come up with a good example, but like, I guess we'll go back to the boss. People expect a boss to dress a certain way, like very professional. But like, what if you were like this, and you had this funny tie and this bright, colorful blazer and all of these lapel pins or whatever? It's like, that's not typically what we think of a boss dressing like. And yet, you could be in this managerial role dressing like this, and it would make sense to people because you still have this presence of authority or whatever it happens to be. But I feel like you don't have to dress the part in order to be the person. You are authentic down to your core, and so you don't have to put on a facade that tells everyone who you are. Okay, let's see if there's anything else your spirit guides are wanting to say. I feel like with this type of reading, like describing a person, it ends up being like all over the place, but hopefully it's helpful, or at least fun. I don't know. Or anything else. Okay, Ace of Wands, Three of Cups, the World. I feel, we kind of touched on this before, but I feel like your spirit guides are saying, like, you're someone who can make friends with people of so many different walks of life. And again, that goes back to the fact that you are genuine. So you show up as yourself, no matter which type of group of people you're around. And yet, you can fit in with people from all different walks of life, people from different nationalities with this World card, people who've had very different experiences or who live different lifestyles from you. Yeah, it's like you can find your point of comfort with any group of people, basically. Anything else for group 1? Okay, we have Three of Wands reversed, the Tower, and the Knight of Pentacles. I think something interesting or unusual about you is unique. Some of the options that you've chosen not to pursue in life. We have this Three of Wands reversed. Like, there have been options available to you that you chose not to pursue. Like, an example would be like if you came from a family of doctors, it would have been really easy to open that doorway. You had connections to something or whatever. You chose not to use that opportunity. It's like you had the golden ticket to something, you chose not to use it. That's something that's unusual about you. Almost like you wanted to do it the hard way with the Tower and the Knight of Pentacles, because you felt the need to refine yourself through hardship in a way, or through, again, there's a very service oriented, wanting to be of service. It does remind me a little bit of, I know this is stupid that I can't remember. Is it Siddhartha? Is it, what's his name? Is it the guy who eventually became the Buddha? But the guy who was like, he was born a prince. He had all this luxury, this good life. He left it to go out and be destitute and live in poverty. But that's how he became enlightened. You all know who I'm talking about. But it's giving me that type of energy. Like, you've left the typical path or the easier path, the well-trodden path in some way, to go your own way. You've lived your life in a very unique way. You've had avant-garde choices, unexpected choices that you've made with this Tower card. But you did it because you felt that that was the only way for you to really grow and develop fully. And, you know, with that Tower card, maybe sometimes you even shocked yourself. You know, there is some sort of shocking quality where you yourself didn't even realize you would go down that path. You may not have seen yourself going down that path, but you ended up going down that path. And it's part of your life's journey, you know, to learn how to be of service to other people in some way. Sometimes I do feel like, yeah, there is almost like a need to shock people. And even to shock yourself. I think sometimes you have had to shock yourself. Like, you do not like getting into a rut. So when you get into a rut, there's almost, I wouldn't say it even is happening necessarily consciously. It's not like you're planning it out. Like, I'm going to shock myself into a different life. It's almost like it just happens. Like, your soul, your very essence cannot withstand being in a rut. So you bring upon, maybe you bring upon catastrophe, or you bring upon like dramatic changes, like all of a sudden you're dressing very differently than you used to, or you're hanging out with different people, or you move to a different place, or you switch to a different job or something like that. Okay, But it's because you do thrive on change and thrive on whatever is the opposite of not getting into a rut. Like keeping things interesting. You got to keep it interesting. That's what works for you, group 1. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to move on to group 2, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hello, group 2. This is your reading. You chose Rhiannon, which says focus. This goddess. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. I am starting with some oracle cards. I'm going to get into tarot as well. I haven't used oracle cards a lot in readings lately, but I struggled a bit with group 1 pulling things spontaneously. So I shuffled and pulled before so I could maybe sit with the energy a little bit and absorb it and come up with some coherent paragraph or something, rather than just like this sentence, which sort of connects with this next sentence. But what was interesting is that I pulled first water magic. This was after shuffling, right? I shuffled, I pulled water magic. The next one was fire magic, and the next one was earth magic. The only thing we don't have here is air magic, so I'm like, well, let me pull the next one and see if it's air magic. It wasn't. It was ground and clear. But I would say, generally speaking, like, you're someone who understands how to work with the elements in order to stay grounded and centered. You know, like, I would say what is unique about you, listen, there are probably a lot of witches on here, but like you are a witch in the sense of like really understanding elemental energies, right? Fire energy is about using our force, our determination. It's the active principle. It's about bringing things to life. It's about inspired action, taking action, making things happen, focusing our intentions toward a goal, that type of thing. We have water magic, which is about love and purification, peacefulness. It's about our emotional selves. It's about our empathic selves, right? There's something sort of transcendent about the water. And then we have earth magic, which seems like an especially strong focus for you. You are someone who's very ground. I would say you're some sort of earth witch or something. Even if you wouldn't call yourself that, I mean, this is coming through as what's unique about you. You may have a special understanding of how to use crystals, herbs, use different material items for clearing and purification and grounding and healing, and connecting with the spiritual realms. You are very much, you see this ground and center, it isn't just that this person is grounded, but that like all of this energy is able to be channeled through them. And the symbol on his shirt here, that circle with the cross through it, it's about spirit being drawn into matter. Right, which is exactly what's happening here, because you are so grounded and so good at using the elements around you to connect to Mother Gaia and all that she offers. You can allow yourself to be this conduit for energy. Okay, so let's learn a little bit more about that. We have this other deck here that I'm going to use, and then we'll get into the tarot. What is so unique about group 2? I do also feel like you're very good at focusing your energy. That was the key word on that goddess card you pulled. But you can focus the intention of, put your focus and intention into whatever, you know, is it a wand? Is it a cup? Is it a gemstone that you're using? Whatever it happens to be, you can focus your intention into it. Okay, we have open mind. And here I just feel like it's more about the crown chakra, like You channel insights. You are a channel. You are a very strong channel for spirit. Abundance. Again, you see, like on this image, there are just these rainbows all around this well. A well is connected deep into the ground also. It's water energy and it's earth energy, right? And we have this rainbow, which we could think maybe is fire and air energy, but like, because you are such a deep well of groundedness and centeredness, you allow channeled insights. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but I feel like there's something special about that quality of yours that your spirit guides are trying to touch on, though, and I want to be able to pick up what it is. So let me see here. You have divine insights. Your crown chakra is very active, and it's active because you're very grounded and centered, which is great, because some people open the crown chakra and they're not grounded and centered, and they're just kind of wackadoodle-doo all over the place. I would say, like, a message that I'm getting from these teeth, these weird teeth, is that you have a heightened sense of, you have extrasensory perception, I would say, but it's like maybe it comes through bodily things, like maybe you get some sort of feeling in a tooth or something. I don't know. You press your tongue up against your tooth and you can understand. Like, I feel like you have such a connectedness to your own body intuitively that you can get in. You know, there are different kinds of clairs, clairsentience, blah, 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 you know, all the different clairs. But I don't know what the clair is for, like, being attuned to the body. Like, your own body can be giving you signs and signals. Your body can speak to you because you have such a strong connection. Like, the connection between the etheric realms, or whatever you want to call it, the astral realms, the psychic woo-woo, you know, the psychic vibes, and your connection to what's grounded, what's material, which first and foremost, what do we have? What's our first and last material possession? Is our own body. But then we have the ground beneath us, our possessions, etc. But you are so grounded and connected to your own sense of self, to your own body, to the material world around you, that it allows you to see more than what most people can perceive. You have a heightened sense of perception. That is for real. I kind of feel like some of you might even have trippy experiences without tripping. You know, like, you don't have to do shrooms or DMT or whatever in order to kind of see certain things. You may have seen things before that are other dimensional, but because you are very grounded, it doesn't scare you. It doesn't make you lose your ability to function in the world. Yeah, you have a unique way of perceiving the world because of your high-end senses of perception. I will say, I feel like sometimes maybe you feel a little bit sad that you can't always share these experiences with other people, or maybe even feel sad for other people that they can't have these experiences, that you feel like it's very fulfilling that you're able to have these experiences, and you wish that other people could. I feel like there might be a connection to the fairy realm for some of you, or maybe you have a special relationship to elementals. Oh, that goes back to the whole element thing. Special connect to elementals like fairies, gnomes, etc. So in any case, I think that this connection to the elemental world, to the power of the elements, to the power of Mother Earth, and the combined, spiritual and material abundance that she shares with us. It's something that you do like to share with the world. Maybe you feel like there are certain parts of it that you won't be able to explain to people, or that they wouldn't believe or understand. But there are certain parts that you do find a way to express, because I think, for one thing, like, you feel like it's important to honor Mother Earth by trying. And I also think what's unique about you is that you do sort of vacillate between these two worlds of, well, I have to be stuffy and formal and like in the concrete reality world over here, and not mention this woo-woo stuff, not mention the more spiritual or extrasensory perception aspects of my life around these people. But it sort of deadens you when you do that. You've tried. And then there are other times when you like really let it flow. And I think you're just trying to find the balance, basically, of those two worlds. And I think you're doing a wonderful job, actually. Your spirit guides are saying, like, you are super balanced. I mean, that was kind of the point at the beginning. Like, you're so balanced between being grounded and between being super wide open as a channel. Yeah, you are. They do want to reinforce that you are a channel, because you're almost like a lightning rod. You attract these spiritual, esoteric, whatever, astral realm, other dimensional energies like a lightning rod. Oh, you can see it even on this card. Like, it's coming down here. Everything's attracted to it, and that yet there's this sort of groundedness. Yeah, this is how you are. You are deeply of this world and deeply of the astral worlds, other dimensional worlds at the same time. You are embedded into both. It would almost be like you are some sort of dimensional portal. Because you are so connected to both, you are like a doorway. Some of you might be mediums then, right? Because that's sort of a doorway in a sense. Like, you're almost like a doorway or a transfer point between the worlds. Yeah, you are equally in both worlds, and you allow passage. Wow, what does that mean, to be a doorway or to be a portal? It means that you are someone who has a highly refined ability to be calm, to be open-minded, again, we have the 4 elements depicted on her tattoos. You have grounded yourself. It's sort of natural to you to be this portal. What does it mean to you? I think for you, it's just kind of like your life, you know? I don't think you understand how special this makes you. It's almost, to you, it seems ordinary, because you're so aware of the extraordinary that exists beyond, quote unquote, normal human perception. You're so aware of that. So the fact that you are this portal or this doorway yourself, to you, it doesn't even seem that special. You're just, look, this is just who I am. I'm just bridging two sides of existence or multiple sides of existence. I'm just bridging multiple dimensions. This is just my lot in life. Okay. But it is special, and it definitely makes you unique. So what do your spirit guides want you to know about it? They want you to be in charge of yourself as that doorway. We have the Emperor, the Two of Wands, and the Three of Cups. Almost like, think of yourself as, is it Sharon, the guy who ferries people across the river Styx. Also, someone who is allowing passage between two worlds. They're there at the edge of those two worlds, where those two worlds meet. You are the same way, but you need to embrace your emperor qualities. And, sometimes you might need to be a little bit of a, gosh, I can't think of words today. Like the person who stands outside of a bar and decides who can come in or not. The bouncer, like maybe you need to embrace a little bit of your bouncer energy and tell some people to bounce, or tell some people listen, I can't get you across the river Styx right now until you do a little bit more work on yourself. So if you want to sit on the bank and just dilly-dally, that's fine. If you want to go off and do some more living and growing and evolving, that's really what's going to get you the ticket you need. But yeah, you have choices about how you want to use this energy, and who gets to access the portal to begin with. Yeah, you're in charge. And I feel like you already have been embracing that, but your spirit guides, if you are already embracing that, this is a sort of kudos. They're glad that you're doing it. But they want to affirm that it is definitely the correct approach. And they're proud of you for being a bouncer and asking people to bounce if they shouldn't be in your energy, or they shouldn't be accessing this other dimension, or whatever it is. All right, anything else that your spirit guides want to say to you? No. But again, just you should know that you are very special. This is a special quality. Not many people would be able to do this. All right. So that wraps it up for group 2. I hope that was helpful, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Welcome, group 3. Those of you who chose Rhiannon as your goddess, this is your reading about what it is that makes you unique. And I feel, I am mentioning astrological signs or whatever, not to say that you are a sign or anything like that, but I do get Taurus energy here, just as a way of symbolically expressing what is unique about you. You are so sensually connected to the world around you. It's like finding and experiencing fully the beauty around you. We have seasonal harvest. I feel like you are someone who you really know how to take what's available around you, understand the textures, the tastes maybe of different ingredients, and putting them together to make something that tastes really great, or gathering together the right things to give to someone, even if you're not a cook. There's something here about understanding sensuality, understanding the material world, and this true way of abundance of I know just who would like this, I don't know, this thing of flowers that I've come across, or, you harvest things out of your garden. You have certain people in mind because you're like, I know so-and-so loves to make lavender cookies, so I'm going to bring them this lavender, and so-and-so loves mint tea, so I'm going to harvest some mint. I don't know. I'm not saying that you necessarily even grow a garden. What I'm trying to get to is that you see what is available in the material, physical world around you, and you know how to bless yourself and other people with it in a way that is sensually delightful, right? Sensually just means the five senses. It often gets confused with another context, but sensual just means like we understand that this way things smell, like that's what aromatherapy is, right? We know that it impacts us. It's not just, well, this smells a certain way, but it's like it has this greater impact. And the textures of things, the colors of things, all of that, the way that it looks, the way that it sounds, right? All of these things come together to create the beauty of our existence. And you are someone who really knows not just how to enjoy that, but how to cultivate it and give it to other people, actually, and allow other people to have that. So we have cleansing body and spirit. Like you really indulge in the simple pleasures of life are very enjoyable to you. And again, you may not even realize that this is special, but it is, and be glad that you have this ability. You know, there's this like sigh of contentment both of these women have on their face, you know, like you really know how to enjoy life. And we have accept, love, and speak your mind. Like you're someone who knows what you like. You know what you like, you know what your opinion is, and you can share that with other people. So there's something about you that is sort of naturally very loving. You're imbuing this loving quality just by like really knowing who you are, being very centered and self-aware. There's a very strong sense of self-awareness, and also a mindful awareness of your surroundings and a mindful awareness of other people. Like you might understand what other people like even more than they do, right? Like you might be like, ooh, I know that such and such, my neighbor down the road would just love this dress that I see at the consignment shop. You know what I mean? Like you have the ability to read and understand what truly makes other people feel content, what makes other people enjoy the physical realm. Then we have improvisation. I mean, I feel like this goes around to it as well. Like you come across something, the improvising that you do, it has a lot to do with the material world and your ability to present that to other people. So we have improvisation, honoring ideas, and take a walk. Like as you're taking a walk, you'll have random ideas about, again, I mean, I've already said it, but like, what can I do with this resource? You see resources all around you. That's Taurus energy. Taurus doesn't ever run out of resources because they see the abundance all around them. The animal that represents Taurus is the cow. And what do cows do? Or the bull, right? What do? They graze the field, right? By the time they get to the end of the field has grown back up. You know, there's like, they never run out of abundance. So people with this type of energy, also, they always see the available resources. There's so much that is available, always. And they love being able to gift people. Yeah. So I do feel like your spirit guides want you to embrace that part of yourself, to understand how special it is, and realize what a blessing you are to other people through doing these types of things. Okay. You're very down to earth, salt of the earth, but kind of like fun and exciting at the same time, because you know how to make even the most simple of experiences, like having a cup of tea. Like you know how to make that a special experience. I feel like your spirit guides want you to claim your intelligence as well, and to understand that this is a form of intelligence, because maybe it's not the type of book learning intelligence that we normally uphold as intelligence, but this is a type of intelligence. This is like the most important type of intelligence that we have in order to just to live, right? To live, we need to be able to make the best use of our available resources. I feel like because, the world will uphold certain things in life. It'll say, like extroverts are more important than introverts or whatever. And we can, whether we agree with these things or not, sometimes they still affect us and can make us question our worth in some way. Well, does it matter that I can like really enjoy taking a bath? Does that make me intelligent? Yes, it does. It definitely gives you a form of intelligence because, if you're someone who can't relax and enjoy things, then you're going to be miserable, right? Like, how to not stay in misery. And we all, no matter who we are we're going to come in contact with experiences that challenge our ability to not be miserable. I'm not saying that you've never been miserable, but you don't stay there, right? You don't stay there. You enjoy that glass of milk and you're like, this is not just a glass of milk. This is the perfect ice cold glass of chocolate milk with like dark chocolate special blah blah. I don't know. But like, you're like, I'm not just like living, I'm living, like this is definitely something that you should honor about yourself. Don't take it for granted. I feel like that's what is being said, is like, do not take this for granted. And don't think that other people take it for granted either. Like, you may not realize, to you it may seem like your existence and what you're offering, in the sense that I've already described, isn't anything that's special to anybody else, but it actually really is. That's why it's coming up in this reading. And you should see that this makes you a true, unique individual who is bringing something into the world that nobody else can offer. Let me see if there's anything else your spirit guides are wanting to say to you, group 3. Okay, so that's it. But I feel, again, like they definitely want you to honor this aspect of who you are. It is very special and it is very important. All right, so thank you so much for watching. That was your reading today, and tune in next time. Leave an idea for a pick a card topic in the comments if you have one, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.